Hi, I am Tamika Caston-Miller. This is a quick flow to leave you feeling grounded and supported. For this practice, we want to use blocks. We're going to use blocks most of the practice. And there are just so many benefits to propping up your practice. A few of which are if you have pain in your wrists, if you just want to extend the floor a little bit, if you want to give yourself play with balance and give yourself some opportunities to experience poses in a different way. These are all opportunities for you to have new experiences on the mat just by making one small change, and that is adding the blocks underneath your hands or underneath anything. I'm currently sitting on a bolster so that my hips are higher than my feet. And these are all just ways to connect to the practice in different ways. One of the things that I believe is what keeps me coming back to my practice is knowing that there are going to be times in which the world feels crazy, people are not kind, and there are just so many things coming at you. You know, chaos seems to be something that we endure more than probably what we want to. And being in this practice for me has meant being able to come into a steadiness and ease from within. I don't have to look to anyone else to give me a sense of steadiness, to give me a sense of calm or peace or even purpose, because that is me doing the work of peeling back the layers from the physical body through my energetic body, my emotional body, my thinking body, pulling back all of those layers to pure light, which is what I am. We all arrived to this existence perfectly. And we have layers and layers of culture and all of these stories from outside of us that help obscure truth, which is you as a perfect part of nature. And so this practice for me is about peeling those back to reveal your true nature. And I think Patanjali would agree that when we peel back the layers to find our true nature through the practices of yoga, we are able to abide in truth, the truth of who we are, which is wild, free, calm, and peaceful. And also I know that at our core, there is a joy. And so we'll get into the practice today, first just by taking a moment to arrive onto the mat and into the practice. The yoga begins now. Take a moment just to settle into your body and to sense your breath. There's no need to do, just be. An easy inhale and an easy exhale. Begin to add a pause at the top of your inhalation and a pause at the bottom of your exhalation. Now extend your legs out long. Take a moment to shake that out. And then make your way onto all fours. Take a moment to notice the ground underneath you and begin making big hip circles, bringing your body around the mat. Hips will go to the left side, back towards the back of the mat, right side, and towards the front of the mat. As you exhale, notice a moment spent in child's pose. And then go into the other side, hips rotating towards the right, the front, the left, and the back. And notice how you load your wrists when you're forward and extend your arms when you're back. Come to lying all the way down to the mat. Let the blocks rest underneath your shoulders. Take an inhale, lift your head and chest away. Exhale, release. Engaging from your feet all the way up the lower body. Inhale, lift your head and chest away. And exhale, fold again. Inhale, engaging from toes to torso. Lift head and chest away. Stay for an exhale. Stay for an inhale. And exhale, make your way back to all fours, giving any movements to yourself that you like. And from here, come into cat-cow. Inhale, lift your head and booty high, navel is low. Exhale, round your spine towards the ceiling. Inhale, lift head and bum. Exhale, round your spine in the other direction. This time, inhale and articulate the spine all the way into rounding, up and down. And then bring blocks underneath your hands and come into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Take a moment to welcome in any additional movements, bending right and left, right and left. And then walk your hands towards your feet, bringing the blocks with you. Turn the blocks to their highest height. Take an inhale, lift halfway, and exhale, fold. Press into the blocks. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Come up. Inhale, reach up into Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, soften and forward fold. Hands come to blocks. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift all the way up, reach to the sky. Exhale, soften your knees, Uttanasana or forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Blocks can be wherever feels right for you in these half sun A's. You can bring them next to your feet, or you can bring them in front of your toes. It's up to you. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up and look up. Exhale, fold. Press into the blocks. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Bring your hands to the blocks and walk your hands out into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Press into the blocks to enjoy a long stretch here. And then bring your knees to the mat. Anjaneyasana on the right side. Step your right foot forward. Inhale, lift your arms to the sky. Shift hips forward. Exhale, half Hanuman. Shift hips back. Inhale, lift hips forward. Exhale, shift back. Continue bringing your hips back and forth, drawing your arms back. And then let your hands land at your sacrum. Shift hips forward. Right hand stays at the sacrum. Inhale, lift your left arm. And on your exhale, reach your left arm alongside your ear towards the right. Inhale, come back to center. Bring your left forearm behind your head. Wrap your right arm around for an archer variation. Continue sending your hips forward as you lean back into your left forearm. Release your left arm forward and right arm back for an open twist. Stay for an exhale. Both arms reach up towards the sky now. Exhale, hands come down. Move blocks out of the way and come into all fours. Feel free to do your all fours with your blocks underneath your hands. Move through another few rounds of cat-cow, rounding the spine towards the sky and then towards the floor. Come to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Enjoy your breath here. Anjaneyasana on the left side. Step your left leg forward and give yourself whatever you need to find a juiciness here in your hips. And come into that dynamic movement again, shifting your hips from Anjaneyasana into half Hanumanasana, utilizing your hands and your arms to help create more interest. After your third time, bring your hands to your sacrum again. Allow for your left hand to stay at the sacrum. Lift your right arm up and reach over to the left side. Feel for lengthening along the right side body. Come back to center. Bring your right forearm behind your head and wrap your left forearm behind your waist. Lean back into your forearm. Feel for opening along the front of the body. Release your right arm forward and your left arm back, coming into an open twist on this side. Both arms come back towards the front and up as though you have a ball of energy. And exhale, hands come to blocks, step back into all fours again. Move your blocks out of the way and come all the way down to the mat. The entire front body is on the mat. Hands are underneath your shoulders. Elongate the spine, pressing into feet to lift into Bhujangasana or low cobra again. Lift and lower from Bhujangasana to the floor dynamically 3 times. Engage the feet and the lower body. And then bring the palms of your hands to the floor. Engage everything from toes to torso. Lift your chest and head away from the mat. And if it feels okay for your low back, lift your legs away from the mat as well. Enjoy the grounding sensation of using the floor under your hands. And on your exhale, release. Hands come underneath your shoulders. And send your hips all the way back now, moving in any kind of way to find a little more space until you land into a child's pose. In this balasana, you might notice that your hips might be higher, they might be lower. It doesn't matter. You are in your practice. This is your child's pose where you may find rest and ease as you allow your heart and your hips to come towards the floor. Send your body more forward now, bringing your forearms to the mat and your heart to the mat for puppy, Anahatasana. Your chest will be on the mat, hips will be above the knees or around above the knees as your chin or lips come to the mat. Release into Sphinx pose or Bhujangasana variation, allowing for your elbows to be right underneath your shoulders, forearms and hands to the mat. Feel for that connection between your navel and your pelvic area and the floor. Shalambhasana variation. Bring blocks underneath your shoulder and upper arm and turn your palms towards your body and then up, internally rotating your arms. Allow for your palms to rest. Shoulder and upper arm rest onto the blocks. Head rest onto the mat. Release and move the blocks out of the way, bringing them down now to the bottom of the mat. I like to place the blocks on the medium height, but you can place the blocks in any way that feels right for you. One block will be underneath your heart and the other underneath your head. Allow for your knees to remain bent initially to feel for this connection between your feet and the earth. As you exhale, allow for the space between your collarbones to widen. If and when you'd like to take another variation, you can take Supta Baddha Konasana, a reclined bound angle, bringing the soles of your feet together and knees bow out. Welcome in ease and softness as you inhale and exhale. If you're in Supta Baddha Konasana, bring your knees back together, and everyone can extend their legs out now into supported fish. Shalamba Matsyasana is an amazing way for you to feel open along the upper body while feeling grounded in the lower body. Notice the distance between the opening sensation along the chest and the heart versus grounding and surrender in the low body. Release and bring the soles of your feet to the mat. Remove the blocks from underneath your body and rest for a while in constructive rest, sensing the residue of the poses in your body. And as you're ready, make your way into Shavasana. Take time here for you, finding complete rest and restoration. Thank you so much for joining me for this brief exploration. Hopefully you feel more grounded, a little more peaceful, and maybe, just maybe, there's a little more space to walk a little lighter as you go about the rest of your day. Have an amazing, amazing day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.